people off the ledge
more
than I'm kind of like, just filling in on the forecast details. So first at 5, it's the snow and the snowflakes that will be falling in some parts of Northeast Ohio as we go through the night tonight. These are the lake effect clouds that are getting started right now. And these clouds will continue to thicken up as we go through the night. And eventually we'll start to get some snow wrung out of them. We do have a lake snow advisory through noon tomorrow. That basically means that we will have impactful weather, an inconvenience, not a shutdown. I have said it to our web folks and I've said it to numerous people. This will not be the mother lode, everybody. We have a whole lot that is coming into play that is going to keep this in check. That being said, within the last hour, things have been lighting up out over the lake. We told you yesterday we were going to get some sun in the afternoon and then the winds would start to align. That is a huge part of lake effect forecasting. The winds have to be just right and the winds are coming into better alignment and we are starting to see that lake effect going now. This is primarily rain, but as we continue to cool, we will drop it back into a rain-snow mix and then change it over to snow showers. We've been watching the clouds thicken up out over the lake. You can't have snow without the clouds, typically, but look what's going on upwind of us. Woo, this is coming off of Lake Michigan for sure, and we will be on the receiving end of some of that snow as we go through the night. Let's time it out for you a little bit better now. We're going to stop it at 9 o'clock. Now we're seeing primarily snow with a little mix on the lakeshore areas. Temperatures are going to be in the 30s through the rest of the evening, dropping into the 20s by the midnight hour. Here's what keeps this in check. You can see things going gangbusters at midnight and into the early morning, but then it's done. This is a quick hit of snow, everybody, and that will help to limit the snowfall. That being said, primary snowbelt areas east of Cleveland, that's where we have our bullseye right now. We're probably talking 2 to 4 inches of snow, maybe a little bit more in some locations. We'll break it down for you in the full forecast coming up.
All right, Betsy, thank you. Now at 5, an overnight house fire in the Kenmore neighborhood claimed the life of an 8-year-old boy and sent 4 others to the hospital. Sarah Schuchman was at the scene in Akron earlier today. She's back now, joins us on the set of What's New. Sarah, what more can you tell us?
Well, Jay, this is just devastating news, obviously, for this Akron community. This 8-year-old little boy, David Johnson, is being remembered as a sweet and curious kid by his neighbors and his school community. David had autism and was nonverbal. He attended Leggett Community Learning Center since he was in kindergarten. And Principal Gregory Blondheim told us in a statement today that David loved wearing different hats to school. The staff is offering love and support to his family in any way they can. Johnson was at home with his grandfather, his mother, and older brother when the fire started around 4 a.m. this morning. Those 3 made their way out through heavy smoke, but a firefighter brought David out where they tried to resuscitate him on the scene.
Mom was still in the back yelling, "David, David, David."
He was a special needs kid, and obviously Mom was very distraught that she couldn't get him out the house. We hoped that he would be okay.
All 4 residents and an Akron firefighter were taken to the hospital where David later died. Lieutenant Sergi Lash with the Akron Fire Department says the residents admitted to using a wood-burning stove to heat the home, but it's not clear yet if that contributed to the fire. We know the firefighter was treated for minor injuries at Akron Children's Burn Unit, and we are still waiting for updates on those other 3 family members, Jay.
So tragic. Obviously, our heart goes out to the family and the entire community there. Special needs kid, it really is. We see these things oftentimes early in the cold weather season. We don't know what started it, but it's just a terrible tragedy.
It is, absolutely. And we talked to some neighbors who are super concerned out there about this family and where they go from here. They need all their immediate needs met, and also, what happens as far as funeral arrangements and things for David. They have launched a GoFundMe account. We've got all of that information on WKYC.com, Jay.
All right. Sarah, thank you.
We go now to Wisconsin, where all eyes are on Kenosha. A jury is now in day 3 of deliberations for the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. He's accused of shooting 3 people during a protest last summer. 2 of them died. We've been following this story for you, not only through the protests, but then also as the trial has continued here. We'll have an update from NBC's Jay Gray coming up in just a few minutes. Jay.
In the meantime, now on your feet at 5, Canton City Schools have added an extra day off for students and staff this Thanksgiving break. Manny Abraham tells us it's a move that educators are supporting in hopes of addressing teacher burnout.
It's just been a very demanding year.
A demanding year recognized by the Canton City School District. This week, the school board voted to add an extra day off before the start of Thanksgiving break.
It really was an attempt to address, if you will, teacher burnout.
Canton Professional Educators Association President Paul Palumba says he was grateful to learn about the extra time off, recommended by Superintendent Jeff Talbert.
Our association leaders have had ongoing discussions with the superintendent, and he was aware of how difficult of a year it's been for teachers in our district and all across the nation, actually.
In a statement, the school said that many teachers are covering classes due to nationwide staff shortages and a lack of substitute teachers.
When we have quarantining or we have sicknesses, then the teachers are fulfilling the jobs of other teachers. And so they're plugging holes all across the district. So if you go an entire day and you're plugging holes and you don't get any breaks yourself, it can really have a mental effect on you.
Other schools have made similar changes. Alliance City Schools announced that they would be extending Thanksgiving break as well. In a letter to parents, the superintendent said, quote, "Right now, we're seeing too many of our youth and our adults who are mentally exhausted and physically and emotionally stretched too thin." The Canton School Board also voting to add 4 more staff days to the calendar. Students would be off, but staff members would come in for a work day.
Those days are really meaningful and really help teachers get caught up with all the new demands.
Amani Abraham, 3 News.
We call this the Great Resignation. We've talked about this particularly recently because last month, more Americans quit their jobs than any other month ever. And the month before was also a record. And I read something 2 days ago that this is also affecting educators.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously the number one reason that was given for these teachers for walking away was COVID fatigue in general, burnout. But we have shortages everywhere. When you start seeing shortages when it comes to educating our children, that's a code red.
And keep in mind, this is not new, the burnout part. Teachers are under so much stress, not only from the kids, they have to deal with the kids, they have to deal with the parents of the kids, which is not always easy. They have to deal with their own administration. They have to deal with state testing. And that state testing, man, the testing is really, I think, something that should and could be changed since their grades of teachers are based on how students perform. I get that. But I think that there's way too much pressure put on those tests, not only for the kids, but then that goes upstream. Right
and
back
as we know,
teachers.
Not everybody tests well. Some have anxiety when it comes to testing. Even here in Ohio, when we saw our numbers come back at record lows, I was a little surprised to find out that our fail rate wasn't necessarily the fail rate out of 100. Or the fail rate of those that took the test. It was the fail rate of 100. So even those that didn't test were counted as fails. And that's why our numbers were so stark. They were really alarming when we saw them.
Yeah, the system is definitely broken.
Yeah.
We do want to go now back to Kenosha, Wisconsin, where we are waiting and watching Day 3 of deliberations of the jury in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. Remember, he's accused of shooting 3 people during the protests last summer, 2 of whom died. NBC's Jay Gray has been following the trial and the deliberations, joins us there now live. Hi, Jay.
Hey, Betsy, I want to give you a first-hand look at what's happening right now outside the courthouse. You can see the crowds have gathered here again, as they do most every evening. They pick up as we moved into the evening. Very vocal here today, both sides with bullhorns. You've got protesters supporting both the prosecution and the defense in this case. As for inside the courthouse, the jury has been sequestered, been working throughout the day. No questions for the judge today. No request to review any evidence or any videotape. We know that they watched about 46 minutes of video yesterday, but again, just a day of work for the jury with no indication of where they stand or how much progress they've made in this case. So, Betsy, we're all waiting as they continue their work right now, and a lot of people in this town are anxious to hear what this jury ultimately has to say.
Absolutely, and a lot of people watching and waiting, kind of tense at that, with the protesters already on standby and the National Guard called in as well. All right, Jay Gray, thank you so much for that report. Meanwhile, back here in Cleveland, it's a big day for organizations like the Food Bank and United Way that are charged with making sure people will not go hungry this holiday season. The United Way of Lake County prepared about 350 turkey dinners to be distributed to 32 different pantries around the county. And of course, the Greater Cleveland Food Bank set up shop in the Muni lot as they have every week since the pandemic started, with help from city council members, Mayor-elect Justin Bibb, and members of the police and fire departments. The Food Bank distributed over 5,000 meals. Now that's a task that's getting harder to do as prices are going up and sourcing becomes harder.
We placed our turkey order back in April to lock in the best prices possible. It is certainly a cause for concern. We're watching pricing really carefully, but with problems in the supply chain, we don't necessarily have all the sources we've had in the past. And yet we must make sure that food is here.
Well, the Food Bank will not be holding a food distribution next week because of the Thanksgiving holiday, but there are places where you can still get a hot meal for the holidays. You can get a list sent to you by texting the word meal to 216-344-3300. Remember, that is a text. It's not a phone call. Next up for us here on What's New, whiskey worth more than $40,000. What a stunning statement that is, and you heard it right. Well, we're about to tell you which local pub has it and what it'll take to get a taste of it.
I wouldn't want to drop that.
Oy. Two hands.
And with 1 week until Thanksgiving, we're talking holiday shopping. It's actually the subject of today's Throwdown Thursday. On the latest trends and all the numbers, Betsy and I will find out how much or how little we know about all this. Welcome back to What's New. This story is crazy. An Irish pub in Rocky River recently bought a very rare bottle of whiskey. In fact, it's so rare, the price tag, $43,000, one bottle. Gormley's Pub posted on its Facebook page that only 70 bottles of Middleton whiskey were produced. It was released from the popular Middleton distillery in County Cork, Ireland. And those willing to pay will be among the first in the world to try it. It's part of a fundraiser to raise money for Malachi House next month. The bottle has 20 pours, so there are 20 tickets available, each going, forget this, Bets, $2,350. But there is still a chance that you can try the whiskey, even if you can't afford the $2,000 plus.
It's $50 a ticket, and there's only 200 tickets sold, which wins you a seat at the table and a chance to get to drink and taste this whiskey.
17 bottles were brought into the United States. The one we're talking about is the only one that doesn't now belong to a private collection. The other 16 bottles were all bought by private collectors, and they can enjoy them all by themselves. The actual bottle that you saw, it was a beautiful bottle. It's made of Waterford crystals.
It better be.
And then the box, and we had a shot of it.
It was gorgeous.
When we showed you. The box was beautiful too. It's all a work of art. The box holding the bottle is 200 years old. There it is right there. It's made of a blend of Japanese and Irish oak.
Wow. Well, Sean Gormley is quite a cool cat. He does a lot of things in the community. He's very generous. This is kind of a sweet way to get a little attention out there in Little Rocky River. I've been known to frequent Gormley's pub a time or two.
I'm willing to bet you didn't pay $2,300 for a drink.
No, I think the Michelob Ultra is considerably cheaper than that. I can't even drink the Irish stuff.
That's amazing.
I think it's so neat to bring that, kind of a splash, $43,000 bottle of whiskey.
Sure.
But to give other people the taste. Now, I would have to say, if you're paying, $2,400 for a shot of whiskey,
you're an aficionado.
You better really savor the first few sips, and then it would hopefully put you out.
What if you try it and you love it and you just have to have more?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a problem.
That is a big problem.
That can hit you in the checkbook real quick. Unbelievable. Well, I hope everyone that tries it enjoys it.
Yes, definitely. And if you don't, well, pass it down, right? Have a friend to hand it off to. Here's a look at the fall sports forecast for the night tonight. It is definitely feeling chilly out there, everybody. We are in the 30s. We will stay in the 30s. The snow is beginning to ramp up on the radar, and we, of course, are going to be keeping a very close eye on the potential for the accumulation. Over the next few hours, the clouds continue to come in. Initially, we're looking at a rain-snow mix, but it will quickly change over to snow once things really start ramping up, and that is as temperatures continue to go down. We're going to be down around 30 degrees in the early morning tomorrow. We do have a winter weather advisory. That basically means impactful weather, but nothing that's going to completely stop the world from moving. So Cuyahoga, Lake Geauga, inland Ashtabula counties, this is the best chance to have accumulating snow on the order of probably 2 to 4, maybe 5 inches. And again, it would be eastern Cuyahoga County rather than western Cuyahoga County, but we may have some snow that falls elsewhere. We're already seeing that lake effect firing up right now, and as we have the radar in snow mode now, you can see that it's not all snow, it's mostly rain. Remember, we're still bringing in the cold air at this point. The air is coming from the west at the surface, okay? Now look way back here, you're starting to see just a little bit west-northwest up by Detroit, but it's still pretty breezy out there. Our temperatures may be in the 30s, but our wind chills are considerably cooler. So keep in mind, when you're talking about lake effect, wind is a huge deal. The surface wind, as I just showed you, is coming out of the west, but just above the surface and then in the middle layers of the atmosphere, the wind is still out of the southwest. As the evening goes on, these winds will begin to align, and that's when we will get a good band going. And that band is expected to form just offshore of Cleveland and aim out toward that primary snow territory. So we do have some snow that is ongoing upstream from us off of Lake Michigan. We know it's going to be coming. So what's the big deal? What's really going to be the change that not only brings the wind around, but then also really starts to cool us off? There's a trough. It's a little shift in that wind direction that will begin to swing through. And again, that looks to take place here over the next several hours. Here's your National Designer hour-by-hour forecast. Midnight. Now we see that snow going. And I know I mentioned eastern Cuyahoga County, but look here, secondary snow belters out to the west. We're probably going to get a decent coating out of this. It's going to come in quick. It's going to hit hard, but then it's going to start to back off. And by tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., you can see things are already improving. That being said, secondary roads, side streets, your sidewalks, decks, porches, and steps, that's probably going to be the most treacherous part out of this. You may need to shovel a little bit if you're in the primary snowbelt area. But farther south and farther west, nothing. So temperatures are really going to start cold, come back up, and then as we get into the afternoon, I think we're going to be able to rescue a beautiful looking day, albeit kind of chilly. We do have the potential for secondary snowbelt snow, maybe an inch or two, especially out to the west. But look here, Beechwood over towards Solon, Chagrin Falls maybe getting into that 5 or 6 kind of category. So a winter weather advisory again through noon tomorrow. Here's your Union Home Mortgage forecast. I told you it's a quick hit. That's really going to be what keeps all of this confined because we're going back to the upper 40s by Saturday. Rain moves in Sunday. We get to do the snow thing all over again on Monday, and I think it will be a more widespread snow. By the time we hit Thursday, which of course is Thanksgiving, clouds and sun 45. Like nothing ever happened. We'll be right back. Cheater, pumpkin eater. Cheater, cheater. All right, it is Throwdown Thursday, and with 1 week until Thanksgiving, you may be thinking more about the holiday gift shopping than stuffing at this point.
What is happening? The game hasn't started yet.
We like to test our buzzers before it starts.
Look at the draw.
Black Friday and Cyber Monday are just around the corner. That means we're all in shopping mode. Lena Lai is testing our retail knowledge before this holiday season, and I'm in big trouble because we all know.
No, you're not. He was talking smack earlier.
No, I wasn't. Betsy is the shopping. She knows everything about shopping deals.
That doesn't mean I know this, though.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I just wanted to see a fight.
She sandbags.
Okay. I don't want to be an instigator. Okay. Here we go. First question. Well, Retail Me Not is out with their data for the year. So here's the first question. On average, how much money do consumers plan to spend on holiday shopping? A, $462, B, $617, C, $886, or none of the above?
I have more questions than answers on this one.
Well, I buzzed in.
Now. Yeah.
Okay, so every time we do this, I'm stunned at the price. It's always way higher than I plan on spending. I must be a cheapskate.
See, I just wonder if that's like for a family, for a per person. Is this for food and gifts?
I'm just going to go with the highest number, whatever that was. I think it was C, because I'm not going with none of the above.
The answer is correct. C, $886.
See, that's
15% more than last year.
But is food included in that? That's what I would like to know.
I don't know.
Is that like the whole family?
Come on, way too many questions.
Lena just reads the question.
I just read the question. Okay, question number 2. True or false? More than 80% of people say they're shopping for holiday gifts before Thanksgiving. That's C.
True.
Yeah.
True.
That is true. 83% to be exact, up from 60% last year who got the head start.
I'm one of them.
So it's 2-1. She's big. She's been preaching it since June.
It's neck and neck, tied game. Okay,
no, it's 2-1. I forgot to tell you this.
Just let him
You get
score.
the points for whatever number the question is. So this one's worth 3 points.
Okay, you keep track.
Okay.
We know online shopping was popular last year because of the pandemic. Well, I didn't even get the question out. What percent of shoppers buying online?
Okay.
Whatever the highest number is my guess.
Oh, wow, really? Okay.
So you're saying 83%?
Oh!
Answer is B, 62%.
Oh, he was supposed to guess.
So there you go, -1 now for Betsy. Yeah, I would have guessed 62%, but I'm not going to take the points.
I was thinking after 2020, everybody's shopping online
Quick at the draw. Okay, now this next stat comes from a survey done by financial company Affirm. True or false? Nearly 60% of people would rather take a vacation than have a family get together this year.
Yes.
Good dinging, yes.
Heck yeah, put me in that category.
I agree.
Get away from that family drama. That is true.
Okay, well, that was number 4.
Final question.
This was
what
significant.
percent of people plan to celebrate with only people in their household? 39%, 53%, 64%, or 72%? Did you get it?
I did. I gotta be honest, I don't
can't
really
lose, though.
I'm gonna guess on the answer, but I was more watching your thumb.
So you just went before I did. Oh, that is so
Pretty
wrong.
much. What were the percentages
You would have
again?
been paying attention.
39, 53, 64, or 72?
I'm gonna say 53.
No. I'm going to say whatever the biggest number was. 73
See, I would've gone
or
the
2?
That 72% kind of goes
Wow.
hand in hand with wanting to take a vacation.
You get
instead
the
of
leg lamp
being with
back.
family.
Finally. She's had the leg lamp for like 2 months.
Well done.
All right, I'm so glad. And
Good
I
job,
really
both of
came
you.
into her turf, too. The shopping
Yeah.
stuff. That's her world.
But I got to win a few buzzers. That's all that matters
See how
to me right now.
As long as she beats me buzzing in, she feels like she's won.
Strategy, man.
She's watching my thumb
Strategy.
now. Next week, I'm doing it like this.
Right?
All right, still to come on What's
Thanks,
New
Lena.
at 5:30, how the supply chain is shaping up ahead of the holidays. We'll tell you what some chains are doing to make sure their customers get what they want.
Are you sure you're not my sister? Then, I love this story. This is a game changer, fixing your phone yourself. There's a new service that will be offered soon to some iPhone users that will actually save you a trip to the Apple Store.
Lena really nailed the gig there.
She was great at
job,
that.
Lena. That
Yeah,
was fun.
she was good.
And look here, we have our Perks for Watching 3 News contestant on standby. He has a chance to win $1,000 in Giant Eagle gift cards. Tonight's question is about Thanksgiving, so stay tuned to play from home.
Yes.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
We begin at 5:30 with 3 things you need to know. First, a house fire killed an 8-year-old boy and sent 4 others to the hospital. This happened last night. It happened in the Kenmore neighborhood in Akron. David Johnson attended Leggett Community Learning Center. He had autism and was nonverbal, but loved wearing all different kinds of hats to school. He was home with his grandfather, mother, and brother. They all made it through the heavy smoke. They, along with a firefighter, were taken to the hospital. The Akron Fire Department says the residents admitted to using a wood-burning stove to heat the home, but it's not clear yet if that contributed in any way to the fire.
Well, jurors have now been deliberating in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial for 3 days. He's accused of killing 2 men and injuring another with an AR-style semi-automatic rifle last summer during a protest. Now there's a vocal crowd outside of the courthouse as they wait for a verdict. The judge says deliberations will continue for as long as this jury wants to work things out. Throughout this process, he has allowed them to set the hours for when they want to work.
And number 3, today was a big day for organizations like the Greater Cleveland Food Bank and United Way. The United Way of Lake County prepared about 350 turkey dinners to bring to 32 different food pantries across the country, or the county rather. And the food bank set up shop in the Muni lot, just like they've done every week since the pandemic began. They distributed over 5,000 meals ahead of Thanksgiving. And with that, we welcome you back to What's New. The second half hour is jam-packed, along with Betsy Kling. I'm Jay Crawford. Hope you're having a great Thursday. This is purely speculation, but at this point in the day, the Rittenhouse jury had been sent home. I don't know if it means anything or not, whether or not they could be close, but the fact that they've decided to work now past 4:30 Central Time could be some sort of an indicator that they're getting close, because they've decided obviously to stay a little longer.
Well, I think there's been a lot of discussion too about when the verdict would be announced also. Obviously there was some concern if they announce it early, if it would be something that would happen at night. That's probably not the best thing. So there's a whole lot of different mechanics going on.
I would guess the judge, even if he was handed a verdict tonight, would send everyone home. We'll reconvene in the morning and we'll read the verdict in the morning. That's just a guess. I don't know.
All right. Well, we'll certainly keep our eye out for that too. We are going to move on to our top talker though. You've seen the images of cargo ships laden with supplies stuck with no way into port. Well, we have some good news for you. Some stores say they will be ready for the holiday rush. According to the Wall Street Journal, Target, Walmart, Home Depot, and a few others chartered their own vessels to avoid the transportation disruptions so many businesses are dealing with right now. Meanwhile, Target says its inventory right now is up 20% from this time last year. Walmart and TJX, which owns TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods, also say they have a good amount of inventory.
Wow, that's good news.
I could just see Jeff Bezos like parachuting onto one of the container ships and starting his own logistics supply chain issue happening there.
It's crazy. Are you a Target fan? Do you shop at Target?
I shop everywhere there's a sale.
My wife loves Target. I probably haven't been in one in 15 years. She loves Target, and she has said consistently over the last several months, their shelves are empty. There is nothing on the shelves. And so it's good to hear that their inventory is actually up 20% from where we were last year at this time.
Right. It's no secret I shop at Aldi. I love Aldi.
Yeah, big fan.
Aldi Aisle of Shame is my jam. That is like the...
What is that?
The Aisle of Shame. They have it at Mark's too. It's basically like where all of the special buy stuff goes. And you just never know what you're going to find. And some of it they advertise, but it's just great little things. And so you go to the grocery store and you end up coming home with like...
more than you need.
Pots and pans and spatulas and fans and pet mats and candles and you name it. It's all in there. And I love it. But it too has been kind of missing, and a lot of folks have been a little sad about that.
Well, hopefully we'll get these items in stores and on shelves soon. This is an interesting story. Usually when something goes wrong with your iPhone, you know the drill. You have to make one of those appointments and then you have to go to the Apple store to have it fixed. Apple is going to change the game a little bit, though. They're going to give customers the chance to fix their phones themselves. Here's the way it works. The new service is called self-service repair. It gives consumers access to the same parts, tools, and manuals that have previously been completely unavailable and behind some sort of secret curtain. Well, now you'll be able to do it. It's going to start next year. It will be available for iPhone 12 and 13 phone owners. It will later provide self-support tools for some computers, too. This is a game changer.
Of course they're going to do that. Are you kidding me?
Well, I was
Wait a
kind of
minute.
surprised,
You mean
though.
you've never tried this before? Yeah, try to fix it.
Well, you know what it is?
You're
The
going to end up
Apple Bar
replacing the
appointments
thing.
they're so far in the future.
Yeah.
And when your phone breaks, you don't want to hear, oh, we can get you in next Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's the last thing in the world you want to hear.
Yeah.
Now, from someone who considers himself pretty handy, I like to tinker. Not always the best in the world, but I do like to tinker.
This is not a table saw. This is,
but I love
intricate
taking things
electronics.
apart.
Yeah.
I love doing that kind of thing. And I've always been frustrated by the idea that I have to hand my phone over and wait for a week or whatever it is, or make an appointment a week in the future. So I think this is really going to be exciting for a lot of folks.
I still appreciate the little shops that fix it. I can't even tell you how fantastic they are.
Yeah.
You know, there's experience when you hand your phone to somebody in one of these little mom and pop shops. They know what they're doing. A lot of times you can just chat with them and get some other ideas out of them, too.
Our whole lives are in these things.
It's scary.
No one wants to go a week without having it.
Well,
we're all hooked.
Sometimes you like to go a week without.
Yeah, you're
Unplugging
right.
is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Check this out. Renowned chef and Cleveland son Michael Symon is coming out with a new cookbook. Fix It with Food. Every meal made easy. Models his last one from 2020, but offers more substitutes and different portion sizes to make things easier for us cooking at home. Now, our Doug Tratner, who writes Symon's cookbooks, sat down with him here in Cleveland to talk about what he learned from the first book that changed how Symon approached the second one.
I realized how even people that like to cook and enjoy to cook, there was a fear of substitution, and I wanted to give them the freedom to substitute.
The freedom, the confidence, and as you say in the book, once you do that once, twice, 3 times, and it comes out perfect, it gives you the confidence to start freestyling yourself.
Right, and freestyling's fun.
Or terrifying. And Doug asked Michael about several other topics, including why Lola closed, how he got his start in the cooking scene, and what he's doing now with his time. You can watch that full interview tonight at 11. So excited about that. I didn't know Doug Tratner wrote his books. Good on Michael Symon for getting a really great food writer to write his cookbooks for him, certainly.
We love Doug. Obviously, he knows the Cleveland food scene as well as anyone. And yeah, if you're going to have someone write your book, it should be someone that is as well-versed as Doug is, and that's pretty cool.
Now, here's my concern. That picture that you're looking at there, that is in our studio, which means that we have the book here in the studio. I do not see said book, but I would love to take a gander at that.
Wait, Mo just said she has it, and it was the
You
prize
hit it.
for this week's Throwdown Thursday. So I get the book for free. Mo, thank you. That's great. Oh, no, she just told me she didn't say that.
You're the meanest friend ever. You are my brother. All right, still ahead. $1,000 is up for grabs in tonight's Perks for Watching contest. And one lucky winner has the chance to win that money to Giant Eagle coming up.
We're on a hot streak, man. Our viewers have been winning this thing. Then in Clicking in Cleveland, people can now claim part of nearly $100 million that has been awarded now as part of a TikTok class action settlement. We're going to tell you what they did wrong and how you might get your hands on that money.
It's 5:41 in the CLE, and we have some very interesting weather to talk about. Lake effect snow is going to be coming down 2 to 5 inches in the primary snow belt, with some accumulations possible in the secondary snow belt as well. For the weekend, we have a great Saturday on tap. Rain moves in on Sunday, and then Monday, widespread snow is setting up. Does not look like it's going to be crazy for us, but I think we will have widespread snow accumulations on Monday into Tuesday. Next 12 hours for us, here we go. Lake effect snow firing up as the temperatures drop into the low 30s. A lot of our southern areas are probably going to be in the 20s to get the day going tomorrow. There is a lake snow advisory, Cuyahoga, Lake Geauga, inland to Ashtabula counties. And for Cuyahoga County, it is mainly east of 77 that we are concerned with as far as the accumulating snow. And again, by lake effect snow, kind of the ranges that we're used to, 2 to 5 inches is not a huge deal for us. So this is not the mother lode. This is not going to be a big one for us, but it may be impactful if you have any plans in the overnight or early morning hours. There's the lake snow as it's just getting going, probably getting some rain out east already, but we'll start to see that change over to snow. We have colder air that is moving in. Look at the snow that is upstream from us coming off of Lake Michigan. A lot of intermittent snow showers out to the west too, just to deal with instability. So there's quite a bit that's happening that's really going to help to ramp this up, but it is wind and it is cold air that is in the driver's seat with this thing, and all of that is coming together. Here's your National Design hour-by-hour forecast. We will start to see things ramp up through the evening. West winds continue for us. That's going to drive a lot of the snow from west to east, obviously that lake effect. Just above us, though, we're going to start to see a little bit more of a northwesterly fetch, and that's going to help to open things up farther west, too. So by the midnight hour, we're going to have a good batch of snow coming down. It's going to be a quick hit, though, because by tomorrow at 8 a.m., a lot of that is going to be gone. Once we move to noon tomorrow, we're dealing with a beautiful afternoon, albeit rather chilly. I think we'll manage to recover back to about 41 or so, but we will get to see some sunshine, and certainly that is some great news. Now, how much snow? All right. Keep in mind it's lake effect. Anything can happen here. But I think the biggest limiting factor is the duration. This is not a long-term snow that we have coming. We will get a quick, hard hit tonight. So it is not going to be great between probably 10 p.m. and I'll say 4 a.m. Then it should start to get a little better. We'll have some light accumulations west. But look here, primary heart of the snow belt areas. And remember, this could adjust just a little bit. But right now we're looking out toward the eastern suburbs as being our bullseye with that 3 to 5 inches. Not to be outdone, big picture. By Saturday, things are great. By Sunday, here comes the rain. By Monday, we're going to do it all over again. There you see it. That cold air gets in here and sticks around on Tuesday. Here's your Union Home Mortgage forecast. Temperatures are going to be on the rise through the weekend. That's just ahead of that next batch of snow that arrives Monday. Lake snow continues into Tuesday, then backs off just in time for the big travel day on Wednesday, which looks phenomenal. Clouds and sun then for our Thanksgiving holiday with mid-40s.
Yeah, a lot of people looking at that Wednesday forecast. It looks good. If you had to get in your car and drive somewhere, it should be nice. Okay. Time now to try to make someone's Thanksgiving a whole lot better. One randomly selected 3 News viewer now has the chance to win My Perks from Giant Eagle. Tonight, once again, the pot is $1,000 in perks because this morning's viewer missed the question.
All right, so Robert Ruckert from Cleveland is in the hot seat tonight. And Robert, what do you think you're going to do with all these perks if you win?
Well, I just moved into a new house, so it'd be great to have a nice dinner with friends and family. And, well, I also have a sister that lives out of state and a 3-year-old nephew I don't get to see often, so it'd be great to see both of them.
That's a great plan, most certainly. Lots to be thankful for. All right, here's your question. What percentage of Americans skip turkey on Thanksgiving? Is it 8%, 12%, 16%, or 24%?
Oh, man.
Yeah, I know. That's a tricky one. I can't believe it's any percent, quite honestly, but I get it.
Could you repeat those again?
Okay, so how many Americans, what percentage of Americans skip the turkey on Thanksgiving? Is it 8%, 12%, 16%, or 24%?
We'll go 8%. Who doesn't like turkey?
Oh, we didn't get it. No, I'm sorry. It's 12%. That was our answer for today, about 12%. So close. Certainly. Well, Robert, thank you so much for watching and for playing along with us. We really do appreciate it. Of course, now we roll over. It's $1,500 for tomorrow morning's contestant. If they don't get it, we get $2,000 tomorrow. So we got lots to look forward to.
Have a great Thanksgiving anyhow, Robert.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you. Thanks for playing.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, you still have a chance to enter for a chance to play. Go to WKYC.com/contests. We are giving away $10,000 in Giant Eagle gift cards over the next few days. We'll have a new contestant each day here on What's New and on Go in the mornings at 6:45.
Well, Betsy, there is an economic crisis taking place in Northeast Ohio. Fewer available workers, but an increase, of course, in demand. We've been talking about it for over a year. Much of that has to do with COVID, but we also have something called a talent retention problem. Northeast Ohio only keeps less than 47% of the area's graduates. Team NEO, a regional economic organization, along with Delta Dental, is trying to fix that problem. Their mission is to bridge the gap between the alignment of talent in our area to growing career opportunities. At their 5th annual Aligning Opportunities report, they mapped out strategies to educate and train people to fill jobs now and in the future.
We've been in a really difficult couple of years, and the story actually is the glass is half full. You'll see there are myriad jobs available. We just have to match up the talent, get the skill base built so that we can fill those jobs in this region.
Now, according to Team NEO, the top 3 industry opportunities in Northeast Ohio right now include, no surprise here, healthcare, also manufacturing, and IT, where tens of thousands of jobs go unfilled every year. They're currently working with younger students to foster their skill sets so that they one day may be able to fill positions like these. Important. Next on What's New, the Cleveland Guardians are giving us a first glimpse of their new gear that will be available in the team shop very, very soon.
Like tomorrow morning, kind of soon.
Yeah.
Excited about that. That's clicking in Cleveland. Then the really cool opportunity one 6-year-old girl has at this Sunday's Browns game. We'll tell you how she won a contest. Ahead in our show is Something Good.
Hi, mic check. What's clicking in Cleveland? We are talking about the Guardians. Thanks.
Back on the practice field.
It's time now to see what's clicking in Cleveland. For that, of course, we bring in our digital anchor, Stephanie Haney. Hi, Stephanie. What's clicking?
Hi there, Betsy. You know, today people are really celebrating after the governor of Oklahoma commuted the death sentence of Julius Jones. And our Baker Mayfield was one of the celebrities pleading to save his life. Here's him on Wednesday.
That's not something that's easy to talk about. Been trying to get the facts stated and the truth to be told for a while, but it's tough to think about. Tried and tried. It's a shame that it's gotten this far.
Very emotional there. Now, Jones was convicted of a 1999 murder that many are now questioning, and he's always maintained his innocence. And today, people are celebrating that he was not executed, which was supposed to happen today, and continue to fight his new sentence of life without the possibility of parole. Okay, Jay Crawford, this one is for you. If you use TikTok anytime before September 30th, you can get in on a $92 million settlement. Now, TikTok has been accused of illegally collecting and using personal data from users, and the company says it didn't do that, but agreed to this settlement anyway. The website to file a claim is TikTokDataPrivacySettlement.com. If you want to be excluded from the settlement, do that by January 31st, or to opt in, do that by March 1st for that payout. And today we get our first peek at new Cleveland Guardians baseball gear. The team tweeted these photos today of the team shop that opens at Progressive Field tomorrow at 9 a.m. Curiously enough, though, no jerseys in the pictures. Really wondering what those will look like. But tomorrow, it's going to be quite the event. They're going to have coffee, donuts, they'll have raffle prizes, and free gifts for the first 50 people in the door.
Perfect.
Surprised no jerseys, though.
I know.
That's always the top seller.
Big reveal tomorrow?
Maybe. So 92 million, but there's like over 100 million that use TikTok. So you're talking like 80 cents.
Yeah.
I'm not
yeah.
going to.
And then I like the fact that you have to give up your personal data to opt in or opt out of the personal data lawsuit.
You are logging in. Well, maybe everybody won't sign up. Maybe everyone will think that, and I signed up, so maybe I'll end up with that.
I won't.
Let us know
I
how
won't
much you
do
get.
it.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, great. Oh, earlier this week, Betsy gave us her mom's stuffing recipe. Yesterday, earlier this week, I did the
sweet
potato. My wife makes a great sweet potato. What's your favorite Thanksgiving Day dish? Tell us how to make it.
I am all in for the deviled eggs. My mom makes the best deviled eggs. Here's the thing, if you just look up a deviled egg recipe, you won't necessarily have milk in the recipe. So we add a little bit, it makes them a little creamier. And also, there's the big debate between mayo versus Miracle Whip. Always Miracle Whip. We go for the zip in the Haney house.
Absolutely.
You need that tang. So that's it. That's the recipe. You see it on the screen. I think this is probably my favorite dish because it was maybe the easiest to help with when I was little. Although there are some fun stories for sure of me carrying the deviled eggs and not doing the best job.
They're slippery.
They're slippery.
Slippery little suckers. It's like oysters and Pretty Woman. They're flying everywhere.
Crazy. I love
Is that website? Is that on our website? The address or
It
the address, the recipe?
Yep, you can find that on WKYC.com.
Great.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Okay, I love today's Show Us Something Good. It's coming up next. One local little girl turns into a junior reporter. We're going to tell you her big assignment and how she won a really cool contest.
Here we go. Here we go. Today's Show Us Something Good is just awesome.
Hey, testing 1, 2. I sure do. How are you? Thanks for being with us. I'm Russ Mitchell, and I'm Lena Lai, ready.
Today's show is something good is just awesome. Last night, 6-year-old Katie from Avon served as the Cleveland Browns junior reporter after being selected as the biggest little Browns fan and winner of the Cleveland Browns Junior Reporter Sweepstakes. She served the winner dinner last night at the Wendy's in Brunswick, where ESPN Cleveland announcer Aaron Goldhammer and former Browns player Hanford Dixon helped coach her and 9 other finalists. And get this, Katie will get to interview a starting Browns player at Sunday's game.
How about that?
That is pretty exciting. You never know. Could be a sports journalist in the making.
It could be. Katie, don't be nervous. Be yourself. I'm sure it's going to be great.
Yeah.
We're out of time. Back tomorrow at 5, and we invite you to join us then.
What Matters Most with Russ and Lena starts right now.
The plows are fired up and loaded with salt as another dose of winter is on the way. The chief is tracking it all. Also, house fire tragedy. A young boy is killed, several others injured after flames destroy a home overnight in Akron. Sarah Shookman has reaction and the latest on the search for answers. Wrong direction.
None of us need to take chances with COVID-19.
Top state health officials give a new warning about the pandemic and why vaccinations are so critical before the holidays. And filling the need.
It's time for Thanksgiving, it's time for Christmas, and what better can we do but to volunteer our time?
What turned out to be one of the largest food distributions in the area this year. Thousands of families get frozen turkeys and other supplies as the season of giving is upon us.
From the WKYC studios, this is What Matters Most.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Russ Mitchell.
And I'm Lena Lai. Ready or not, another blast of wintry weather is on the way. ODOT plows and local road departments have their trucks loaded up with salt and ready to go once the snow starts sticking to the ground tonight.
The chief, Betsy Kling, has been on this all day. She's going to keep it real for us. Betsy, that warm day yesterday, just a memory now.
Yeah, you know me keeping it real, right? So here's the thing I've been telling everybody all day. This is not the mother load. This is not going to be a really big one. As a matter of fact, by the time we hit Christmas, you probably won't even remember that this happened. So lake snow advisory through noon Friday. Cuyahoga, Lake Geauga, Inland, Ashtabula counties. We're specifically targeting eastern half of Cuyahoga County because that's basically downwind of the lake. There is a look at the radar right now. We do have snow mode turned on, so we are not yet seeing a lot of snow in the rain, but this is slowly going to be a process that begins to turn over here in the next couple of hours. We are starting to see some intensity picking up, though. Interestingly enough, this is a wind-driven event, so we have a westerly surface wind. Above the surface, the winds are still southwest. That changes over the next few hours, and we should start to see our snow bands pivoting a little bit. That will open it up across most of the lakeshore areas. You can kind of see that pivot taking place farther to the north, and you know I love to see what's going on upstream because a lot of that translates our way, and we end up being on the receiving end of the same kind of conditions. So your hour-by-hour forecast as we get into the night tonight, this lake effect is really going to continue to come together as we go through the next couple of hours. By 9 o'clock, we should start to see it changing a little bit, coming a little bit more onshore, and I think we will have western areas getting hit with this snow too about